Is this the one and only Roxy?
Speaking.
Speaking.
What do you say, Bay?
I say.
What does Bay stand for anyway? Is it short for what?
It's short for Basso.
Basso?
Basso Ragni, yep.
That is cool.
Very Italian.
Very cool. Of course you're Italian.
Yeah. Since you brought it up, I'm just going to ask the question right off the bat. I usually save this for last. And I asked your sister, and I got her answer. But, I interviewed Carmine and Vinny a piece in Appice a few weeks ago, and they gave me two different answers. So let's see if you said the same thing as her. Is it gravy or sauce?
Sauce.
Okay, these are the same.
I think it's probably the region. I don't know what region they're from, but where my parents were from, it's sauce.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What do you call it?
Gravy. Gravy.
Yeah, well, maybe it's an East Coast thing. It's a New York thing.
That's exactly what Vinny and Carmine were saying. It's got to be an East Coast thing because they both also said if they're in L.A., it's sauce.
Well, if you're in Detroit, it's sauce.
How about that? So I think anywhere
and by the way,
outside of... Go ahead.
I was going to say it's Maxine Petrucci and Roxy Petrucci.
Petrucci.
Well, Appice and Apis. A piece.
Yeah.
Petrucci, Petrucci.
And then
trying to be funny. And it wasn't.
They said there's another brother, and he pronounces it a different way as well.
Let me think. So if it's Appice, Apiche.
Yep.
How's that?
That's it. Yep.
We'll have to ask him sometime.
It's funny. That is funny.
So what's happening?
So you all set?
Yeah.
Okie doke. Let's. I got a lot of questions for you. I hope you're ready.
Oh no.
So when we talked to your sister last week, she told it.
I'm sorry, that was her accent.
It's my Philly accent coming through. She was saying how you guys, growing up, musicians, playing flute, clarinet, and all things like that. And then when she made the switch to guitar, she turned around to you and said, you need to play bass or drums, and you need to make a choice.
That's pretty much it. But what happened was my dad actually says, you want to play another instrument. Actually, it wasn't do you want to, it's what other instrument do you want to play. And then Maxine turned to me and said, bass or drums? Which one? And, I guess I like the whole primal sexual thing that goes along with drumming, so I said drums. And my dad said, cool. And he got me a small little, I think it was a Slingerland.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a Slingerland champagne-colored kit, champagne sparkle. And once I sat behind there and just started, futzing around, it felt good, and I started taking lessons. And once I actually learned how to play a beat, that's it. I was hooked. There was no turning back. No, there was no stopping me. And, and I think my mom and dad probably regretted that after a while. It's like my mom's trying to do dishes upstairs, and I'm downstairs banging away. And she's like, oh, my God. She couldn't have played flute.
Now, was there any, drummer that stood out in your mind or anything that really helped push you towards the drums that you wanted to be like?
Well, my brother Remo, he was really into rock at the time, and he started bringing home records. Remember those vinyl records?
Absolutely, yes.
And he would have Maxine and myself listen to just a lot of stuff like Zeppelin and Sabbath, and he turned us on to all that, and I started really digging Bonham style and Bill Ward. In fact, when I actually went to my first rock concert, which was Black Sabbath, and my brother took me, and I was just, I'm just a tween, a little teenager, and I was just in awe. I could not believe, just the crowd and just the energy that was coming from the band and the crowd. And when Bill Ward did his drum solo and everybody was on their feet, it was just just like in heaven. I was like, I got to do that. I want to be like that. I got to do that. So I just, I was totally inspired, and I just started practicing, and I was practicing all the time and doing everything though, jazz and rock, and I was in the jazz band in high school. I was in the orchestra. I was in the varsity band, marching band. I was all about music. Of course, that's what kept me out of trouble too. I was always in the band room.
Now, it seems too like, I mean, because were your parents musicians as well?
My dad played sax.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a sax player. My mom played the radio.
She played the radio. So they were very supportive of you guys, being whether it was switching over to the rock style or before that of you guys all being musicians.
Well, I don't think rock was on their agenda. It was more like I was thinking. My dad, I think, wanted us to do classical or be teachers or something. When we started gravitating towards the rock, he didn't stop us, but I don't think he was that thrilled, especially when he saw the transformation of his young Catholic girls turning into these gothic rock, wearing black lipstick and teasing our hair, and we were wearing less and less clothes, and he's going, "Oh my God, oh Madonna, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
No, but we had a good upbringing, and he was a strict father, and I had the fear of my dad, and that's what kept me on track. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get too crazy, I didn't do anything too stupid. Maxine and I had a mission, and that was to have the best girl band ever. We wanted to rock, and that's all we cared about. While we were in high school, that's all we cared about. It was like music, music, music. While other girls were going to prom, we were going to Guitar Center or whatever, checking out drums, checking out guitars. We were just it's just tunnel vision. It was just music.
Yeah.
And boys.
Yeah, I was the same way back in growing up and all through school, and even today, still have that tunnel vision.
It's a good thing.
It is. It really is. Now, when you guys really started getting out there and playing, and I guess the real, Black Lace, the version before Madam Max is like when things really got serious for you guys, and then once you became Madam Max and everything. I mean, as you and your sister were playing, did you guys get a lot of flack and like people downing you because you were girls trying to play rock?
Gosh, I can't remember that far back. But, not from the fans, because we were actually good at what we did.
Right.
You did have those musician types that were in the back with their arms folded and expecting, okay, she's a chick, let's see what she can do. So we were under the microscope in that sense, but people who wanted to rock and just came to the shows and got past the idea that we were girls, which maybe they never did, I don't know, but it helped and it hurt. You know what I'm saying? When they hear that
Sure.
a girl's playing, they're going to go see you play because you're a girl. If you suck, it doesn't help you. If you're good, it's like, wow, she's a chick and she can rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we didn't care about that. We didn't care what they thought. We really didn't. We obviously the fans came to see us, so they were digging our music, and that's what mattered to us.
Cool. So, I mean, that right there says both of you are very strong-willed people to be able to just ignore the flack or whatever people's talking about you.
Well, I mean, it still can get you. I mean, we're human, but we are Italian, and we have piss and vinegar. Remember that.
Oh, too funny.
And again, we were just so focused. I mean, and it amazes me now too, because now that I'm a little older, it's like I can't. I look at my nieces and stuff, and I'm just like, wow. When I was 15, 16, whatever, I just already knew what I wanted to do. And there's a lot of kids,
right.
They don't know. So it's kind of like it was just in my DNA. There was nothing else I was going to do. It was my destiny.
Wow.
I know it's weird. I look back now and just know it. I just know it. I knew it then, though, too, actually, because that was my vision. I could just see it. I could just see it. I could see it. That's the only way I can put it. I could see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
And one thing that really shocked me from talking with all three of you, and now you, well, let me see if you have the same feeling, but I was really shocked to find out, like, when you guys were, before you were even signed or anything, you guys had, like, what was like a tractor trailer or a tour bus, and you're touring around with everything in that. I'm thinking to myself, wow, like, early 80s.
We didn't have a tour bus. We had a Camaro.
Okay.
And we shoved 5 of us in a Camaro, and we had to take turns who would sit on the hump in the back.
Okay.
But we did have a tractor trailer. We had a semi, and our.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, we had a semi. We owned all of our equipment, all of our lights. We were the circus coming to town. That's where all our money went. Whatever money we made went into the new equipment and maintaining that equipment.
Wow.
And then, so we weighed about 50 pounds, but it didn't matter. We looked good on stage, damn it.
And that's a rarity too, when you're a 50-pound Italian. That doesn't happen.
I know. No, we would go to buffets and pay for one, and then just feed the whole table and shove stuff into our purses and take it back to our one hotel room that was sleeping all of us. We were sleeping on the floors. Anybody who could grab a floor just slept on the floor. Like in Ohio, we started making friends in all the states that we played, and then they would let us crash at their houses. Because, to them it was cool. Hey, cool, I got Madam X staying here. Well, yeah. It's like we'd be out in the street. But, yeah, we were self-sufficient. Broke, but self-sufficient. It's amazing what you'll do. Amazing what we did to make it in our minds, to make it. We got to do this. We got to sacrifice because we want to go to L.A. and get that record deal. That was our goal.
I guess, like you were saying, how you guys would go around and end up staying at people's houses and all. Like a buddy of mine, who I played in a band with for years, he was in another band, and they did some tours over the last couple of years, like little month-long tours in some clubs around the country. And it was kind of the same thing where they were just like, they would meet people in their first tour, and they'd go and do it again a few months later, and they'd be crashing at these people's houses. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I guess that was something new, but I guess not. It seems like it's been something that's been going on for years with all bands.
Oh, yeah, we were thankful for that, too, because, we ate there, we slept there, but, we'd let them come to the shows, and they got good treatment and stuff like that. I mean, who doesn't want to hang out with rockers? Well, especially when you're that young. True. Remember, we're young. They were all, it was a good time for sure. I mean, even though we were down in the trenches and, it got brutal, it was just, we didn't notice it. We didn't notice it because we were living it. We were living it, and we were making the best of it, and having a good time too. And it all paid off once you hit that stage. It was all for that. Because there's just nothing like it.
No, exactly. Now, you had just mentioned too, it was time for you. You felt it was time for you guys to go out to LA and get that big record deal, and you did just that. Which how many people have done that? And you guys went out there and did it, and basically after doing 2 shows. Pretty much.
I mean, it's kind of a blur. I mean, it was so long ago, but I remember playing the Troubadour, and Don Arden was there, and he said we were his best find in years. And, we were just excited that, he was Don Arden. We really didn't know that much about him, but we heard later that, he's Don Arden. He's this huge manager that has Black Sabbath and Air Supply and ELO, all these bands. So we just jumped at the chance. But looking back, I'm like, just because he was Don Arden doesn't necessarily mean he was a good fit for this band. But we didn't know that because we were young. You hire a manager it felt like the other way around. It felt like he was hiring us and we did what he told us to do. But it should have been the band hires a management, and this is what we are. You take what we are and, make it happen.
Right.
So.
Yeah, everybody else kind of said that about Don, like they kind of felt like puppets.
Yeah, well, Chris was kind of he was the designated leader, for Madam X. So I was kind of oblivious to a lot of the business dealings that went on, and so a lot of the stuff I don't remember, and I wasn't privy to a lot of what was going on. I just kind of went along with it. It's like, la, 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 whatever, I want to rock.
Right.
Tell me where to be, and I'll be there. But, you know, I do remember some things, and I do remember he wanted us to write cute songs, and we were like, we're metal. You know, I just remember the cute, and I was like, where's that cute coming from? But that was his way of saying, write a hit song.
Right.
So, you know, if we were just naive, and just so thrilled that we had done our on our side, and that we were now going to be huge rock stars. That's what we thought.
Right.
Didn't necessarily happen, but you know, we were also towards the end. We were not really a unified unit anymore either. I mean, we were fighting as a band too.
Yeah, and I mean, you left and Brett left, but something I found out too as I was going through your bio, you tried out for David Lee Roth, I guess, for his original solo band.
Yeah, it was, and it was kind of by accident too, because I happened to be there when they were auditioning drummers, and my friend worked for Van Halen. She worked production, and she was there because she was working for Dave. And she said, because I met her actually around that time, said you should audition for David Lee Roth. They're auditioning drummers today. So Billy Sheehan was there, Steve Vai was there, and they knew who I was. And they said, "Yep, come on in." So I went in there,
cool.
and my knees were knocking. I was so nervous. You know what? I didn't care if I got the gig or not, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm jamming with Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan.
Sure.
That's it. I'm done. That's all it's going to take for me today. I don't care. So I played, and I did well. I did good. I jammed with them, and it felt great. And, you know, Greg Bissonette got the gig, as he should have. I mean, that guy, he's fantastic, and he was a perfect fit for them. But it was a thrill. It was a total thrill.
So at that point, though, when you had the opportunity to try out for him, were you already in the back of your mind thinking of leaving the band?
I was already out of Madam X.
Oh, you had already left. Okay.
Yeah, I was done, and I was just I was actually joining Vixen at that time. I was in LA. We were going to start rehearsing, blah blah blah, but that opportunity came along to audition for Dave, and I said, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So and then I started rehearsing with Vixen, and for me it was just, you know, it was great. I mean, I as soon as we hit that first note, we started playing together, and it's just like, oh man, this feels good. This feels right.
Wow.
Felt good for me. But on the other hand, you know, I had just come out of a metal band, Madam X, and Vixen is rock,
right,
not metal.
Yeah.
So, you know, it took a bit of an adjustment because I was playing really hard and heavy, because Maxine,
sure,
you know, she's on 11, so I'm used to like a really loud guitar, you know, blowing my ears out. Jan didn't. She didn't play really loud, and for me, I couldn't hear it, and I'm playing, and I'm going. I stopped and I said, "Hey, can you turn your guitar up?" She's like, "What?" Everybody turned around to me and go, "What?" Because they already thought she was too loud, and I was like, "I can't hear her." She turned up. She tells me, "Can you not play so hard?"
Oh,
said,
wow.
No, I know, yeah. And I go, "No, I don't think I can." So it was an adjustment for me. I scaled it back. I had to dial it back a little bit. I had to play with a little more finesse. It was a really good learning experience for me, because Madam X, I was full bore every song.
Sure.
With Vixen, it was like, you know, I was relearning kind of, and just kind of bringing out more of my jazz stuff. Like, you know, I was just getting a different type of feel in there, and it was really good for me. And the dynamics of the band was just so different from Madam X. It was just so different.
You know, it's funny too, because this is like weird. It's like a weird fate or whatever, because, you know, back in the day, right when Vixen was getting ready to hit, and, you know, the pictures started popping out in the magazines and all, I was sitting there. I was telling Maxine this. I was just sitting there, and I was looking at those pictures, and I was like, wait a minute. Why is Roxy in this band and her sister's not? Like, I was, like, bugged by it, you know? And I was like, and I was always saying, like, if I ever get the chance to talk to them, I'm going to ask them. So here we are. Like, was it, like, tough for you now that you had left your sister and you're in this other band and you were so used to playing with your sister all these years?
Well, like I said, I mean, when Madam X broke up, it wasn't exactly on the best terms.
Right.
We were all sick of each other. We were I mean, to the point that we were giving each other dirty looks on stage. We were pretty much done anyway.
Gotcha.
We were burnt out, crispy, done. We played Canada. Our last show was in Canada. The last thing I remember, somebody throwing a shoe at somebody in the hotel room, and we were over. I'm sure.
Wow.
You didn't get into any of that with any of the other members?
You know what? They didn't really say how it was.
Well, they
like,
stayed away from that part of it. Okay. Well, I'm bringing it out.
Yeah. There you bring it out.
Towards the end, we weren't exactly getting along. You know, it wasn't real pleasant, and I think it was all the stress of what was going down in the whole everything around us was just kind of falling apart. So then we fell apart. So when I joined Vixen, for me it was a breath of fresh air.
Right.
And remember, I joined them. It's not like we were auditioning guitar players or anything. So,
right,
but I mean, if you're asking me why Maxine isn't in Vixen, it's kind of like saying why isn't Kirk Hammett in Bon Jovi?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it'd be super cool, but it wouldn't sound like Bon Jovi. I mean, Maxine plays the way she plays. It doesn't necessarily mean she's a great fit for Vixen. Maxine's like a Zakk Wylde. Put that into Vixen. Like I said, it'd be cool, but it wouldn't really sound like Vixen. You dig what I'm saying?
It was just at that time, I just remember saying to myself constantly, like, why isn't Maxine with Roxy? Why aren't their sisters together? What's going on there?
Yeah. Well, and she continued on with Madam X after I went on to Vixen. So, and they had the whole Sebastian in the band, and, they tried to keep it going.
Were you happy they tried to keep it going?
Yeah, she should. I'm glad she did.
That's good.
Or at least do something, because she's too not to.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so something else I just remembered too was like when you were in Vixen, you guys were part of the Metal Years documentary. Yeah,
that was kind of funny. Yeah, there's like I remember them asking everybody the same question. So, what are you going to do if you don't make it? And
right.
I said, but we will. Is that the movie you're talking about? Is that Penelope's Tears? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but we will. She said, well, what if you don't? I said, but we will. But what if you don't? But we will. I refuse to accept that we won't. And we kind of did. We had a nice ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny too because you had said about comparing Vixen to Bon Jovi, and that's what I always did compare you guys to. I always felt like you were the female version of Bon Jovi.
Yeah, and that is a compliment because they have good songs. They're good players. It's kind of Def Leppard, Bon Jovi. I mean, it's rock. Our live performance though is a lot meatier than the actual recordings, and it seems to be the case for a lot of bands, but with Vixen, definitely we are a lot edgier live. I don't know if you've ever seen us live, but
I never have. I don't think you guys ever have played. Have you ever played Philly? I don't think you have.
We played Jim Thorpe. Is that around there?
That's about an hour and a half away from here. You probably played. I used to be a pro wrestler, and I wrestled at that place where you guys probably played because a lot of bands play there.
What a nice venue. That is a really
on
nice...
the top
of a
mountain.
It's in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
It's really, really pretty. What a pretty state, too. But, we just played there not too long ago with Great White. And it was just a great gig. And I think they're talking about us coming back to Philly. I don't know where we're playing, though.
Cool.
But I will let you know so you can come out and check it out.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Now, how about... at the end of the whole era where all the 80s bands were like taboo. I mean, what were your feelings when that was happening?
Oh, like when Nirvana and all those bands started coming around?
Yep.
Is that what you're talking about, the grunge era?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a real big fan of that music, although I like Stone Temple Pilots and, a couple of things like that. But, yeah, wasn't really not my cup of tea. But I just kept playing. I kept playing. I did some drum clinics. I did I got together with Lorraine. I just kept jamming with guitars and guitar players, and I was writing, and I just kind of laid low, but I kept
right.
at my chops because I wasn't going to give up. I wasn't going to just stop. So and then I thought, and I just when an opportunity came up, I'd jump at it, but. Then Vixen reunited. Well, Janet, myself, and Gina reunited. Or we got Gina as a guitar player back in '93, '94, was it? Oh no! Actually, I played with Christy Steele. You remember Christy Steele? Canadian singer, really good. Love Me Till It Hurts. She had a hit, Love Me Till It Hurts. Anyway, she's a great singer. I went out to Canada and toured with her for a little while. Bonnie Clark bass. It was an all-girl band. We just called it Mob.
Gotcha.
And yeah, we played there for a little while, and then I heard about Gina Style, guitarist, who is now playing with Vixen, and got together with her, and we started working together. And I thought, God, Janet's going to love her. I just knew. So I called Janet and said, I'm working with a guitar player you're just going to absolutely love. They got together, and they started writing, and then I couldn't get them out of the room. They were just two little maniacs writing, and before I know it, they wrote the whole Tangerine record, and we recorded Tangerine. Yeah. Just wild how things work out. But, yeah, I just kept active. And then, met up with Lorraine Lewis, and we put together Rocktopus with Jeff Young on guitar. And that was fun.
That was awesome. Because I remember when I came across that, when you guys, I guess, were putting the songs out there. I was blown away. I was like, this is just incredible stuff. And
isn't it cool? I know. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Like, do you guys do that anymore? You get together anymore? Or?
No, but we talk about it. It's like, whenever we see each other, like I saw her on the ship last year because she's playing with Femme Fatale, and we're like, we got to do something together sometime. So we're like, yeah. Have your agent call my agent. Very L.A. Everybody calls her Hollywood. She's great. I love her. So, yeah, just kept active, and then the Vixen came back around, and Jan had called us to reunite, and we were all really excited about that. And then she unfortunately got sick.
Right.
And then that whole horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That's a shame. That is such a shame.
Yeah, it really is, especially to somebody like her because, she really was somebody really special. You just don't run across people like that. She's just really compassionate, respectful. I always wanted to be on my best behavior when she was around. That's the kind of person she was.
Wow.
It was, yeah, she was just really, 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 really cool. Such a nice, genuinely nice lady. And a great guitar player.
It seems like you guys had, fights back and forth. I mean, legal stuff and all. So, I guess you said she called you guys to reform. I guess everything was on a happy note then when she passed away?
Oh yeah, we had good talks, and we just mended our fences, or I don't know what you call it, but we came to terms with everything, and it wasn't really that bad, but we just aired everything and just got everything back to square one, and we were just excited about going out and revving it up again with her, with the original lineup.
Right.
But sadly, it was not to be.
Yeah.
But
shame.
We are, on a mission to continue honoring Jan and her legacy. Have to.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Gina's doing a great job.
Cool. How about the VH1 thing you guys did too? Back, what was that? Early 2000s. The band reunited.
Yeah, that was fun. It was funny because I was in Wisconsin. I was in Milwaukee, and we were selling our house, and they pretended to be buyers. I had no clue. I just got home from the gym, so I had like these weird gym pants on. Had I known, I would not look so frumpy. Anyway, so then I'm showing him the backyard, and then I see that guy, Amir.
Okay.
That was the host.
Uh-huh.
And I recognized him instantly, and I go, oh, my God. And I said, yes, I'll do it. He didn't even have to say anything. I just said, yes, I'll do it. He goes, oh, my God, that's a first. Nobody's ever done that. I knew what he was there for. So, yeah, I was on board right away. I said, of course. I would love to do a reunion with the girls.
Did it shock you and the whole band, like the positive response you guys gotten from that?
No, because I constantly get emails or people writing in saying, when's Vixen going to get back together? I mean, we have a very loyal fan base, as does Madam X.
Sure.
So
that's good.
It's all positive. All good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, we're back now with Madam X. The band is reunited. Original lineup. How shocked are you?
Well, I'm shocked that we're still doing it. Because originally it was only going to be one song. And what happened was I was in England with Vixen.
Okay.
We were doing a meet and greet. And I noticed a few Madam X stuff, records, pictures coming across the table. And I'm going, wow, Madam X does, can you sign this? And there was quite a few Madam X fans. So then a little bell went off my head. And when I got home, I said, Max, we should just do one song for our fans, one Madam X song for the fans, just for them.
Sure.
And surprisingly, she said yes. Brett said yes. Chris was the last one to find out. He just kind of was, I don't know why, but he was like the last one. And one song turned into 3 songs, turned into 6 songs, and now I'm hearing we're going to do 15 songs. So I was like, okay. What happened? The Sweet and Rock, though, that really kicked it off. That just, that lit a fire under everybody's. Oh yeah, it just lit a fire under everybody's ass. It's like, okay, Brett and Chris are like, okay, next, let's put a tour together. Let's go. It's like, wait. So yeah, the songs are sounding good. Everybody's sounding really good. We're getting along fine. Everything's good. I mean, it's an opportunity, and we're going to, I guess, seize it. You never
Absolutely.
know. As long as the fans want it, we'll give it to them.
Very good. Very good.
Right?
And the new song is friggin' phenomenal.
It is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fun, and you're going to sing it whether you want to or not. You can't help it. It's one of those that just sticks in your head. You're just driving along, and all of a sudden there it is in your head. It's like, oh, okay, can I think of something else for a minute? But yeah, it's catchy.
When I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then I sent it over to my 2 buddies who we always email stuff back and forth to, and I sent it over to them. And my one buddy emails me back. He goes, "Thanks, you fucking asshole." He goes, "I can't get this song out of my head now."
It's better than having that Katy Perry song in your head. You'd rather have Madam X than Katy Perry. By the way, that's in that song, isn't it? You caught that in the song?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, I think Chris is in the studio as we speak.
Oh wow, okay.
He's laying down some more bass lines, and I'm going to go in another week or so. Max, I think she just did something. A tune's called Monstrosity. I got some really cool lyrics to that one.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. Like with Chris, like he was pretty adamant. Like he don't want to be playing music unless he's playing with Madam X. So I don't think you would have had any problem getting him to say yes.
It was more of, did we want to work with him again? No, we love Chris. We want to punch him in the head sometimes, but we love him.
I was telling him, I said, the very first time I saw a picture of Madam X, I think it was like a Hit Parader magazine, and I was looking at it, and you would think like, a 14, 15-year-old boy would initially see the girls. And I said to him, all I saw was you. I said, I saw that mound of hair, and I saw your face, and I was petrified. I was like, What in heaven's name is that?
And it's even more intimidating in person when you see that. When his hair's up like that, you've had all that leather on, and he just that skull face going, and he's stomping on stage. I mean, he's definitely a character. I mean, and you do. Your eyes go to him, and you just go, "Wow, what the WTF that?" He definitely has his image down.
Yes, he does.
And we all, got in that recording studio. It was kind of like we picked up where we left off.
Right.
30 years later. Sometimes, and I hate to use this word because it's so overused, but magic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When there's a magic, when there's chemistry, it doesn't go away. I got the same thing with Vixen. We get in a room together, and it's just there.
You can be playing, and you just look at a person, and you know what they're thinking, and you know what they're going to do.
It's just pretty much, yeah, and
yeah. It's
just from being with each other so much, and being on the same wavelength, and wanting the same goals, and just it works. When it works, it works. When it doesn't,
right,
it doesn't. When it doesn't, it really doesn't.
Now, looking back now, do you think maybe Madam X was like 30 years ahead of its time? Do you think like now, if Madam X came out today, the way you did 30 years ago, do you think you guys would have been bigger today than then?
We are coming out today, and I think we actually look pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Madam X would have been, could have been, woulda, coulda, shoulda been huge.
Right.
But we broke up, so we'll never know. But we have a second chance.
And the second chance is now.
And you know what? I think it's better now because mentally, I think we're all in a better place. We're over all that bullshit. And when you're young, and
right.
all the old hormones are going, and it's just a shitstorm. And
mm-hmm.
when you're that young, you really don't know how to handle all that. Well, now we've been through life, so
right.
we know what's important. We know what we want. We know what the band's potential. We're not going to hopefully do something stupid to fuck it up, and throw it out there and see if it sticks.
Sure.
That's all you can do. We'll do the best we can do. Have fun with it, and hopefully the fans dig the material we put out, and then we'll take it from there. I'm just taking it one day at a time.
That's all you can do. And, by the first song you guys put out, I think there'll be no problem with anybody liking anything you guys are going to be putting out.
Well, and this record's pretty diverse. I mean, it's the 80s rock song is cool, and there's some really heavier Madam X stuff on there. That's more Madam X to me. There's one called Resurrection, which is really heavy. So it's going to be a pretty good mix of old and new. So there's a fresh new take on Madam X.
Oh, you have to be hitting the drums hard again?
I always did, though. I didn't really ever really soften up. That's just the way I play.
Right.
I was more of a slammer back then. Now I'm more of I want to be in that pocket, playing the pocket. I'm all about groove. I just love, like John Bonham. He just brings me to my knees sometimes. And Carmine. I did the Cape Breton International Drum Festival, and he was one of the drummers on there. Wow. I mean, to this day, he's just so great. And I watched him backstage too, and I saw him. I don't know if it was Billy Cobham, one of those another great drummer. But anyway, Carmine still wants to learn, and he'd say, "Hey, that fill you played? Show me how you did that." I just thought that was so cool. It's like he never stopped learning, and that's why he is such a great drummer. And his brother too, Vinny, just another great drummer. So much talent out there.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, me, I just. Maybe it's from my early funk days, Lenny White drummers. I just love a really heavy groove. I'm so into that. If I didn't have to play a fill, I wouldn't. I just want to lay it down and make you just tap your foot or get down on your knees.
Nice.
I'm still passionate about that. Just love it. So primal. Love it. Love it.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
You know what happened?
Especially when it's...
I was just going to say last week, Vixen, we played in Vegas, the Cannery, which was a great gig with a band called Kicks. You know who Kicks are?
Of course.
They're a great band, and they're great live. Anyway, we love playing with those guys. I'm playing, and I just slam my stair. My stick breaks in two. I threw it out in the audience and nailed this girl right in the head.
Oh.
And the blood started coming down her forehead. I'm like, oh shit. I didn't know who it was or anything, but I heard about it backstage, and everybody's like, Roxy, you better give her a picture or something. You're going to get sued. Band's going to get sued. I got to stop doing that. I'm always throwing my sticks out, and somebody's going to get it in the eye. Got to stop it. I can't help it. It's just like a bad habit. Some people dig it. Like, yeah, hit me.
Now, you wouldn't even have thought about that, years ago about, worrying about throwing your sticks out. Now it's like you have to, second guess yourself. Should I or shouldn't I?
Yeah, no. I better, I'll hang on to this.
It's funny because I was thinking about that the other night when I was watching the Quiet Riot documentary on Showtime, and I was noticing that, the old footage, you kept seeing Frankie Banali throwing him out into the crowd, and then the newer footage, you see him, walking over to the edge of the stage and handing them to people.
Yeah,
and I was thinking just that.
Well, I used to fling them out, when we were on tour with the Scorpions, and I would just fling them out back then, just throw them out, and I had my name was already on the stick. That was great. Now I kind of lob it out, and now I'm getting to the point where I can't even do that. I was underhanding, lobbing it out up high, so they had plenty of time, heads up, here it comes. But you still, somebody's going to say, you poked my eye out. It's like, fuck.
Right.
Well, you sure it was my stick? Yeah, it says Roxy right on it. Oh, damn.
No escaping that one.
Well, yeah, because I did try to deny it because backstage there was like, you hit this girl in the forehead and blood started trying to go. I go, wasn't me. You're not getting out of this one. She was totally cool, though. She was cool. I gave her a brand new stick, and
nice.
She wasn't one of those. So, but you got to be careful. But I just thought it was cool. It broke right in the middle. I was like, wow, good snare slam on that one. Oh, it's fun. So
how about when you go? When you play overseas in other countries and all, and the reaction is just so much better than here in the States. What is your feeling on why? Why over in Europe can they still embrace everything and support everything and just love it? And here in the States, it's like everybody's scared to or something.
Well, seems like the attention span here in the States is 5 seconds, and then they're on to the next. Over in Europe, they appreciate good musicianship and good music, so I don't think they're hung up on trend, what's trendy.
Right.
They're just all about, they still love Deep Purple, and Deep Purple's great. They love these bands that have been around, that can jam, that are talented. They love good music, young or old. They're just, you got to be good. They don't put up with shit. We played in Spain not too long ago, and the crowd was just intense. They loved it. It was really, really, really good. It was fun, and they're really appreciative. And they'll, you feel it. You feel their intensity, and they'll give it to you too. You have them sing with you, boy. They'll all sing.
Wow.
It's a different vibe, but they'll do that here too. It's just it's just harder to get it out of them. It's good. As long as you give them a good show and you're good,
Then you'll get.
Otherwise, it's yeah. So yeah.
Well,
I'm anxious to go to Japan. Just before Vixen broke up, we were supposed to go to Australia, which would have been so cool. So I'm waiting for that.
Oh wow! Okay.
I've never been there. It's my next. I need to go there. we get plenty of emails too. Australia's waiting. It's like, well, our bags are packed. We're waiting. We're coming.
Top of the checklist.
Say the word.
Australia. Top of the checklist. Australia.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just happy to be playing again. Doing it. I'd love to be in a tour bus and just on the road.
How about doing 2 projects now? I mean, so many people are doing 2, 3 projects, and now that you're kind of in that same situation.
Well, I'm just going to do it. For now, the band Madam X knows that Vixen's going to be busy and we have dates and we're going to be booked through the summer, but Madam X will do select dates and we're going to work around my schedule for now. And cool. They realize that and they're good with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
So you will be seeing Madam X doing some shows.
Very good. And the new album, let's see if you have an idea when it'll be out, because I've gotten a different answer from everybody.
Realistically?
Yes.
Not what we're aiming for, but realistically, I'm gonna say summer.
Okay. That makes sense.
Well, where are we? January?
February.
We're February. Yeah, correct. I'll say, I'm going to say it's going to be a couple of months. So I'm going to say early summer, late spring, early summer.
Yeah. Okay.
And if it's earlier, great. Bonus.
Chris Hedges at March. I think Brett Hedges at April. And your sister was kind of like a little bit further, but I think you are being the realistic one then.
Well, knowing what it takes and the fact that, Brett's in Arizona and, there's scheduling and there's a lot of stuff that goes into making a record. Just even when you're in the same, state, there's a lot that goes into going into making a record. So, we want to do it right. So there's no rush to just throw it out there.
Nice. All righty.
All right.
Let me see. Let me get your choice for an old song to play.
What's on the record? I don't remember.
How
about Come On, Come On?
There you go.
Stand Up and Fight. Stand Up and Fight.
Who picked that one?
Oh, somebody already picked it?
Your sister.
Oh, okay. Come On, Come On's good. What else is on there? How about Metal in My Veins? Chris probably picked that one, right?
Actually, Chris picked it, Brett picked it, and your sister picked it.
Oh, okay. That's probably one of my favorites. I'm going to say Come On, Come On.
Okay. We'll do that one.
You do that? How about Love is a Killer?
We'll do that one, too.
Okay.
And all I need is a bumper from you. This is Roxy Petrucci, or Petrucci, however you want to pronounce your last name.
Petrucci. I was just playing with it.
And you're listening.
Actually, in Italian, it would be Petrucci. All right, go ahead. What do you want?
Yeah, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Tell me when.
Go for it.
Hey, this is Roxy Petrucci, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio. You better be.
Awesome. Roxy, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And like I said, I will give you a heads up if we come to your area.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Okay.
Never got to see you live.
Show.
Absolutely.
We'll hook you up.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, it was great talking to you.
Yep, you too.
Take care.
You too, Rox.
Okay, bye-bye.